Hello, and welcome to a special 3-part episode where we talk about the biggest problem in retail right now, which is theft. With US retailers like Target and Wal-Mart, Home Depot grappling with the rising inventory shrinkage, leading to significant profit losses, this issue has cost the industry over $100 billion, double that of 2015. Increased theft incidents, even violent ones, are prompting measures like surveillance, plexiglass. However, balancing security with a seamless shopping experience is an ongoing debate. In the United Kingdom, the Co-op reported its highest ever levels of retail crime, with over 175,000 incidents in the first half of 2023. Over the next 3 episodes, we'll take a look at the problem of shrink or theft, talk to experts in the field, and look at real-life solutions on what retailers can do to protect themselves. From the ITAB offices in the UK, I'm joined by Leandro Blank, who better to talk to about such an important problem in retail than the experts. Leandro, welcome to the podcast. What I'd love to start by doing is getting your view on what is loss.
First of all, thank you, Alex, for having us in the podcast. I would say that loss, it's a very broad concept that nowadays we are seeing a lot of noise and a lot of news around theft specifically, but it's actually a bigger challenge for retailers, which includes from the loss that happens during the process, supply chain, inventory, stock, error in the process of counting and pricing. It also includes product waste and spoilage. So all the product that goes out of stock because the expiry date has reached. And then the third pillar is the theft, which is now the most hot topic in the press and the news and everywhere. But within theft, we can also split it into 2 different categories. Organized crime and what we call opportunist theft. It's a client that goes to the store, sees an opportunity, doesn't scan or doesn't pay for something, see that he or she can get away with that, and then they repeat that and it becomes a behavior. So these 2 aspects are different within this theft pillar of loss.
Is there one that causes more of a headache for retailers? Is there one that's prioritized when you're talking to retailers?
I guess all of them are in the agenda, but what we are seeing is that specifically theft, it's in the rise,
right?
Because of the dynamics that we are seeing now in the current economic situation. So rising cost of living, the diminishing margins from the retailers are making this theft the one that it's now becoming the really hot topic because it's in the rise. The other 2, for example, the ones related to processes or the ones related to product waste are more or less being managed by the retailers. But the one that it's purely related to theft, it's the one that it needs to be put under control at the moment.
So can it be put under control in reality? Can you really help retailers, or is it just marketing?
It can be put under control. There are some initiatives going on. As everything in life, with everything there is an upside and a downside.
Sure.
So every initiative, every solution will have a trade-off. So I think that the challenge remains how to mitigate the risk of theft without stopping trading. Because stores are there to enable trade. So if you put lots of barriers and lots of products behind counters when closed in cabinets, then you're going to reduce loss, but you're impacting sales at the same time. So that's, I think, for me, the main challenge. How to put theft under control and mitigate the risk. But at the same time, I was going to say improve the customer experience, but at least don't make the customer
don't have an impact on it, right? Don't make it worse.
It's not make it worse.
Because it's interesting because, again, the NRF report that focuses on, and in the UK, the Federation of Small Businesses has also, they launched a report in July about for small shopkeepers or small, medium enterprises, how much of a problem it is for them. And obviously they're asking for change in UK law, as they are in the US, to make any type of shop crime more than petty theft, which is the way they look at it. But this whole thing about friction and having the right amount of friction to prevent theft, or the right amount of friction to allow a great customer service. What I found interesting when I was reading the report and some of the solutions, how do you mitigate was this whole concept of, capturing via video and then using AI or this new world of AI and data to help store staff get themselves out of positions of danger.
Exactly.
Because that's the other big problem, is no retailer wants their associates to be in danger. I just wondered if you had any thoughts on that in terms of best ways to help retailers. So we understand the problem, but what is the solution?
That there is no one single solution for every retailer, and there is no one single touch point that will solve all the problems.
Yeah.
So what we see that works is that, first of all, each retailer has a different dynamic, a different operating model. And so we need to approach every retailer as a new development. So we will end up with bespoke solutions for every retailer based on their need, on their specific dynamics, on their specific customer experience that they want to deliver to the client. So
just quickly, from your experience, when you're talking to these people, what is that one thing that they come to you with? Like, I know everyone's different, but is it theft as a problem in general that's driving their conversation with you right now?
I think that now the main challenge that we're seeing is that there is not really a measure of loss.
Right.
Where it's happening, in which products, when. So there is lack of information.
Got you.
So I think that first we need to start there. We need to understand where is loss happening. And once we understand that, then we can propose a solution. It's really hard to measure the absence of something. So loss is something that it's not there. So our approach is probably measuring when we can convert a potential loss into a sales opportunity.
Yeah.
So that's something that it can be measured and can be then also put in a highlight within the organization, because everyone understands the language of sale in a retail environment. Because until now, I think loss was more on the back end, was for the loss prevention officer somewhere in the back, very isolated from the rest of the organization.
Yeah.
But when you translate that into a sales discussion, how we can, by preventing a loss, actually transform that into a sales opportunity, then that...
And is that something real? I mean, is that like...
Well, just to give one example, in a non-scan attempt in a self-checkout, if we can convert a non-scan attempt into a
conversion,
that's a sales.
Right.
You're transforming.
So, and in that case, that's an innocent mistake that someone may have made, but the retail will lose anyway.
Or innocent or
deliberate.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, why are they focusing on it now when it's been around for so long?
Since there is retail, there is loss. So it's been always a problem. Until now, it was budgeted. It was in the P&L, somewhere in the P&L. But now there are two dynamics. As I said at the beginning, that I'm putting this on the hotspot. On one side, loss is increasing.
Yeah.
On the other side, profits are going down, margins are going down.
Yeah.
So now reducing loss has become a pocket of margin, a pocket of growth for the retailers. So nowadays, actually, investment in loss prevention initiatives is number one investment.
The other thing I hear, and I'm sure retailers are probably, when you go to any trade fair, you see loss prevention through computers, loss prevention through AI, loss prevention through data, loss prevention through gates, loss prevention through POS. Where do you start? How do you tackle this problem?
Every single problem might be tackled with a touch point, with a single touch point, but the real value to really address loss in a holistic way and with a multidimensional approach, because loss is a multidimensional problem, is by connecting all these dots together. So, and not only the touch points that are related to loss specifically, like vision technology, could be footfall, could be transactional data, could be time of day, weather. So all the data points that we have around a retail store, if we connect all those together, we can extract the patterns and the data that could give us insight and be co-pilot to the store manager to know when something could happen. I think that's where the value lies.
That sounds like science fiction. I love the idea of co-pilot and which business doesn't want to enable their store manager, their store associates to help them I mean, NRF, for example, again, the report said one of the pieces of advice that they give to the executives within retailers, do not ask your colleagues to engage, record the incident, gather the data, and in the US, they're trying to share the data. But I mean, how does that, is there a way of bringing it all together?
There is. We're working on initiatives, but rather than me talking about it, why don't you come to our office in the showroom in Sweden and you can see it for yourself?
That sounds fantastic.